and their families in Michigan. Legislation that Speaker Matt Hall refuses to send to Governor Whitmer for her signature. We're urging Michigan Supreme Court to uphold Michigan's Constitution and ensure Speaker Hall follows the law. You're going to hear from a lot of affected workers here in a minute, but with that, to begin, I will pass this microphone to our legal counsel in this case, Mark Brewer.
Thank you, President Bieber. The Michigan Court of Appeals said that these bills have to be presented to the governor in a very well-reasoned decision. This morning, we're going to be asking the Michigan Supreme Court to uphold that decision, to decline the House's appeal, and to let these bills be presented to the governor so that the hundreds of thousands of workers who've been adversely affected by this stall will finally get some relief. Public workers, debtors, residents of the city of Detroit have all been victims of this delay. We're going to urge the court to expeditiously deny this appeal so that those workers and people of Michigan can get their well-deserved benefits. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Carlton. I'm the president of Ask Me Local 496. Today, the Michigan Supreme Court is going to hear a case that goes beyond politics. It's about whether or not the law in our state actually matters. In 2024, the Michigan legislature did exactly what they were supposed to do. They passed 9 bills designed to improve working conditions, strengthen health care, and secure pensions for hundreds of thousands of hardworking Michiganders across the state. These bills passed the legislature, full stop. But Speaker Hall is refusing to do his job. He's refusing to send those bills to Governor Whitmer's desk. And now my members are among those suffering. These are the people who keep Michigan running. These are our nurses, our prosecuting attorneys, animal control workers, those who work in drains and waste, and secretaries in the clerk's and the treasurer's office, those that process payments, our social workers, our people who work in the mental health system. Every day we rely upon these people. But right now, their livelihoods are being held hostage by a single person, Speaker Matt Hall. Let's be very clear, there are no kings in America, and there are certainly no kings in Michigan. When I talk to our members, I just don't hear about policy. I hear about the kitchen table conversations. I hear about the anxiety of a parent looking at healthcare premiums that are climbing while their paycheck stays the same. I hear from workers who are staring at their retirement plans, wondering if the promises made to them will actually be kept. This isn't just politics as usual. This is real life. And while Matt Hall plays political games, my members are paying the price. We cannot allow one politician to ignore the Michigan Constitution and play king. We are here at the Supreme Court because we believe in the rule of law. It's time for Matt Hall to stop the chaos, follow the Constitution, and do his job.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Mai Xiong, and I have the privilege of representing the communities of Warren, Roseville, St. Clair Shores in the 13th House District. I want to thank Ron, the AFL-CIO, and all of you for being here. I also want to acknowledge some of my House Democratic colleagues who are here with me this morning. We are here today because we refuse to give up on Michigan workers and their families. We are here because we believe that elected officials should be held accountable for not doing their job. Michigan workers, you show up every single day to work hard on behalf of our state. Teachers and education workers, you care for our children and teach them the lessons and life skills they need to become successful contributing members. Michigan State Police and local law enforcement officers, you keep us safe on the streets. Firefighters, you're often the first to show up at our doors when an emergency arises. Corrections officers, you work more than 40 hours a week, oftentimes in hostile and dangerous environments. You have done your job. It is time Matt Hall and House Republicans do theirs too. Their actions speak louder than words. They don't think that you deserve to earn a decent living. I know you deserve access to affordable health care so that you can focus on doing your very best job and to not have to worry about your own health or well-being or your families. You deserve a secure retirement because of the decades of service that you have given to our state. It is absolutely appalling and unacceptable for one person to unconstitutionally withhold bills that would provide you the benefits you've worked hard to earn. This ends today. It shouldn't have come to this. We are elected to serve the people, not to withhold progress. You have fought hard, and I am proud of you for not giving up. I am grateful to the Michigan Senate Democrats for using every tool to fight back against this unconstitutional act by House Republicans. I am grateful for the attorneys, the organizations that continue to stand up for what is right. I am here to stand with you, to fight for you, and to keep authoritarian wannabes accountable. The Constitution must mean something. Regardless of our titles or role, we must respect the Constitution and the laws that we have put in place. Make no mistake, this Supreme Court ruling is crucial, and it will set an important precedent. Because what would it mean for the future of our Constitution if bills can be withheld for an indefinite period of time by one person or chamber? What would it mean for the future of our state? And what good are the laws that we pass if one person or chamber can hold them? I am hopeful that the Michigan Supreme Court will reaffirm the state constitution to ensure that these 9 bills get to the governor's desk. Not only have Republicans held these bills hostage for more than a year, making it harder for you to keep the dollars you've earned. It has cost you, the Michigan taxpayers, $300,000 in legal fees to defend the Speaker's unconstitutional actions. I'm never going to stop fighting to hold those who abuse our power, who waste taxpayer dollars, and who make it life harder for working people accountable. And thank you. Please give a warm welcome to our next speaker, Jennifer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Wyrick. I am the USW Local 9036 President, and I've been with STARS for 30 years, which is about how long it feels like I've been waiting for Speaker Matt Hall to send the STAR bills to Governor Whitmer for her signature. That's unacceptable. Matt Hall's power trip is costing Michigan workers and their families thousands of dollars per year, and the cost of living continues to rise. That's unacceptable. Matt Hall is failing Michigan public servants. His actions are showing Michiganders that he doesn't care. That's unacceptable. Matt Hall, it's time for you to do what's right and follow the Michigan Constitution. Send the STAR bills to Governor Whitmer for her signature. Thank you and solidarity.
Good morning. My name is Kim Sandifer. I'm an elementary school teacher in Comstock Public Schools in Kalamazoo County. Like most school districts, my school uses a hard cap to pay its portion of employees' health care costs. And like every other school district in the state with a hard cap, we are struggling disproportionately with skyrocketing healthcare costs and a hard cap that has not kept up. In 2024, my full family health plan's deductible was only $1,000. As part of that plan, my prescription coverage was only included copays. But in 2025, due to rising healthcare costs, a hard cap that barely existed, we had to switch to a plan with a $4,000 deductible and no prescription coverage until the deductible has been met. That's a 3,000% increase overnight. Even changing plans, our health insurance premium still increased by 14%. On the very first day with the new plan, New Year's Day 2025, my 8-year-old daughter became seriously ill. We reluctantly took her to the ER, where after x-rays, lab tests, medicine, she was diagnosed with pneumonia and released with orders for more prescriptions. Between her unexpected illness and my heart medications, We blew through that deductible within 21 days. Pharmacies don't take payment plans, so I had to figure out how to come up with the money, which was more than my monthly income as a teacher. We still have that same high deductible plan this year, and premiums increased yet again. I now pay $415 out of every paycheck just for the premiums, on top of all the out-of-pocket costs. In March, I've already met my $4,000 deductible. This is unsustainable, and it's driving great educators out of the profession, leaving our kids without enough qualified teachers to provide them the education they desperately need and deserve. I mentioned I'm a teacher and a parent. I'm also a constituent of Speaker Matt Hall, and I'm one of the many teachers and parents in Matt Hall's district and across the state who are struggling and need our leaders to listen to us. We were thrilled when the legislature passed bills addressing the hard cap because it appeared working families were finally getting relief. We were confused by Matt Hall's refusal to fulfill his basic constitutional duty. Where was that in Schoolhouse Rocks? We are frustrated that we even have to be out here this morning since the House Speaker should have done his job when these bills were passed. We are sickened by the fact that more and more Michigan families have had to forego seeking medical treatment for their kids because of Matt Hall's power trip. And we are now eager for the Supreme Court to fix this and order the Speaker to send these bills to Governor Whitmer for her signature, as they should have been done nearly a year and a half ago. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sue Shank, and I represent the 14th State Senate District. Thank you all for being here to stand up for justice for our workers and integrity for our state government. I wish I were joining you today under better circumstances, but Republican Speaker Matt Hall and House Republicans continue to block hardworking families from bipartisan legislation that would provide real relief. House Republicans are wasting taxpayer dollars and making Michiganders suffer. Until these 9 bills are signed into state law, my Senate Democratic colleagues and I will fight back against House Republicans' illegal actions and speak up for workers. Because the good people of our state deserve action. You deserve lawmakers that fight for you, not against you. House Republicans have illegally and unconstitutionally blocked bipartisan legislation that would provide affordable health care options and allow Michigan's public workers to access pensions. Legislation that would provide much needed relief for Michigan teachers, first responders, corrections officers, bus drivers, and workers across the state who sacrifice every day to make our communities safer. They are making life harder for the helpers, the people we rely on. If you need a reminder of exactly how long this legislation has been stalled, House Republicans have held up the 9 House bills from reaching Governor Whitmer's desk since January of 2025. Each of these bills was passed by both chambers of the Michigan legislature. The next step is delivering them to the governor. Every representative and senator is elected to act in our interest, in the interest of our communities, and we all take an oath that we will follow the state constitution, making sure that bills are crafted with care, heard in committee, passed, and signed into law is our job. By disrupting the legislative process, House Republicans are not only failing their constituents and Michigan workers statewide, they are failing at the position that they were elected and entrusted to do. This is unacceptable. The House Speaker is not above the law. These bills support those who are first to show up and take care of us in the event of an emergency. They support those who provide a quality education to the next generation. And they support corrections officers who have been working overtime to keep our prisons operating safely. I've heard firsthand how this blocked legislation would provide our state corrections officers with the retirement that they deserve. These bills would give our corrections officers more control over their retirement plans and address staffing shortages, which are contributing to unsafe conditions in some of our prisons. There is nothing partisan about these bills. It's about showing up for our residents and following the law. As someone from a proud union family, I understand how important this fight is. Standing together against injustice is what we do. House Republicans are turning their backs on working families in Michigan. And until these bills arrive on the governor's desk, my Senate Democratic colleagues and I will continue to fight for our workers statewide and hold House Republicans accountable for this illegal action. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Clyde Gentry, and I'm a 10-year motor carrier officer with the Michigan State Police Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division. I'm here today because what's happening in Lansing is completely unacceptable. For over a year, Speaker Matt Hall has been playing games with our laws. He has sat on bills that already passed the legislature, refusing to send them to Governor Whitmer's desk. I'm here because of what this obstruction means for those of us who serve this state. I'm talking about House Bills 4665, 4666, and 4667. These bills were passed to provide much-needed stability for our public servants. This isn't about special treatment. This is about retirement security. This is about ensuring that those of us who put our lives on the line for Michigan can rest easy at night knowing that our future is secure. By stalling these bills, Speaker Hall is intentionally keeping health care costs higher and making retirement more uncertain for my colleagues and hardworking families across the state. Every day he refuses to do his job, he is actively hurting working Michiganders. The Michigan Supreme Court is about to hear the facts. We are standing on the side of the rule of law. We are standing for the Michigan Constitution. We aren't asking for anything extra. We are simply demanding that Speaker Hall follow the oath that he swore to uphold. Send the bills to the governor, stop the chaos, and stop the obstruction. To my fellow workers and all Michiganders, do not let this court case go unnoticed. Let's make sure the record is set straight. It's time for Matt Hall to stop sidestepping Michigan's Constitution, start doing his job, and following the law like the rest of us. Thank you, and now I'm here to pass to Mr. Ray Schultz, Executive Director of the Michigan Corrections Organization.
Well, hello. Hello, everybody. So state corrections officers have been on a roller coaster with the ups and downs for the last year and a half. Our downs are the last 10 years we've been in a staffing crisis. Every year continues to get worse and worse. We have officers who work not just 2, 3, sometimes 4, 5, and 6 forced 16-hour shifts every week. I was just reading, if you guys want to take the time, there is a Milliken report, a report from the riots in the 80s. And it talks about conditions, staffing, and what transpired. Take a look at it because you're going to see exactly the road we're going down. It's been low. Our high was, holy crap, we actually had legislators pay attention to us after all these years and introduce pension legislation for public safety officers. And it was a hell of a high. We were super, super excited because when you work in a prison, we're not a whole lot different than the incarcerated. You lock them up, you forget about them, they don't exist. When you work there, sometimes you feel the same way. So we were on a super high. Then all of a sudden, January happens, and all the bills gets transmitted except for 9. So we hit a low. And I got to say, the average resident of the state of Michigan is upset and believes the political system is corrupt and terrible for exactly why we're here today. Because the legislature did everything right. We're sitting here, and now we're working on this court case. To the current speaker, the Constitution doesn't end at the end of a legislative session. And to the former clerk, you're a very lucky man because you've never been called to question why you accidentally forgot to send 9 bills. But that's another low. Today is possibly a high. We hope the Supreme Court will do the right thing and rule our favor. We'll send the bills to the governor, and then the governor can take care of people with the hardest job that put their lives on the line and sign the bills. That's it.
Thank you, Ray, and thank all of you speakers and all of the legislators who showed up today in support. I want to thank all of you for coming. The press conference portion has now ended. Folks will be made available for one-on-one interviews if you're interested. If you're looking for someone, just check in with Chad over there.